Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Aftermath here on the Hot Patriot Network YouTube channel. I'm as always host here, the Hot Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about Raves, Riots, and Rants. Specifically, this has to do with the after effects of E Honda's previous chat here tonight, which just finished up a little bit ago here. We're in the back chat for maybe 10 15 minutes or so, maybe less than that. Everybody sort of dipped out. Honda's buddy, who's known forever, finally came on a panel, and it went about as well as I thought it was going to, honestly. This was the guy I had a conversation with. It was myself, him, Corey, Honda, and I think there was one other guy, like Owen Fools or something like that. It was in the Discord chat here like a week or so ago, discussing some stuff, and that's when Honda mentioned to him about, come on a panel sometime, whatever the case be there. So there was also some weird motherfucker that showed up last night, too, that didn't say anything. And then, there was even all kinds of weird cryptic messages in the back chat that went by like user, and it was like a bunch of numbers after that. And I remember seeing that guy before too, as well. At least that seems like a guy anyway. And apparently, I guess somebody was like calling Duke or texting Duke and like leaving like weird voicemails for Duke, and it's just like, it's really fucking weird, dude. So thankfully, I'm not in the text chain yet, is what it is. So it obviously wasn't me doing that shit, nor would I have to do that stuff to Duke anyway, because this is fucked up in general. So yeah, I don't know. It could have been anybody at this point, honestly. I know it would have had to been one of the, as Honda said, it could have been anywhere from like, 40 to 50 people, honestly. He hands links out to us, whoever shows up. So it could be, hell, for all we know, it could have been, Guns and Barbecue fucking people and stuff like that, or somebody, like one of the guys from his fucking thing, whatever the case be, he dropped the link to then. So who knows, man? I don't know. People are saying they think it might be NEA or a different username or something like that. Who knows? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't really think Matt would do that though. Like I know Matt likes to fuck with Duke, but the thing is, like, he likes to fuck with Duke so that Duke knows that he's the one fucking with him, right? Like, why would you do that with like an assumed name? It would be more like, crazy ass Ray getting a fucking assumed name or something like that, and getting a fucking panel link, and then just being a weirdo and shit like that. That makes more sense to me, honestly. But yeah, you had Honda's buddy jump in there though, and I mean, the guy's not a bad dude. I don't agree with him politically, is what it is, like, at all. It seems like, I mean, maybe a little bit, depending if we actually went with libertarian mindset and stuff like that. But I think somebody in the comment section of that chat put it correctly, and it was that dude came off very like tree huggery, is what it is, and that's the way I felt about him when I first, was talking to him on Discord like a week or two ago. What was there? I think he brings a good perspective to things, but it's that idealism that, we're all going to, coexist and fucking, everybody's going to be hunky-dory and shit like that, not realizing, like, and I was going to say this during the thing, but there's some people in that panel, it's kind of hard to get a word in edgewise, there's what it was. And the problem with that kind of, mindset mentality is what it is that not everybody is good. There is pure evil in this world, man. And I think that's the problem with, when you're talking about, like, billionaires being like, oh, if they could just, basically help us, work out the world, basically. It's like, that's all well and good and everything, but then it's like, the problem is, because they're the ones financing stuff, they're going to be the ones that want to have the ideas of, like, this is how my money's going to be spent to do this kind of thing, is what it is there. And then you're going to have, like, each one of them, so if it's, 8, 9 people, whatever the case, they're all going to have different ideas of, like, hey, this is how we should do this thing, or this is how we should do that thing. They're never going to be able to, like, come together and, actually align to that point of, like, okay, this is how we're actually going to do everything, is what it is then. So, and that's just human nature, honestly, for the most part. Not to mention, it is also, the greed aspect of things and just, everything else like that. Not to mention, I was going to mention this as well, with the whole depopulation thing going on in our country right now is what it is, and like every country around the world right now, first world nations and stuff. It is the people that understand that we, in these first world nations, are the smartest people and would be the ones to fight back against their tyranny and stuff like that. Meanwhile, it's why you have all these pushes for, African nations to invade most of Europe, why you have Islam invading everything is what it is anymore. And it's because it's these low IQ people from, third, fourth world shitholes is what it is there, that have already fallen to communism, socialism, cultural Marxism, etc. And they're willing to get to toe the line is what it is there, man. They're willing to basically, pick up, like, really run and grab the scraps on the ground that these, billionaire elites are trying to, like, drop at them is what it is there. The crumbs that they're, like, shaking off the table with their hand or whatever the case be. It's that shit that people are are grabbing for. And that's the thing. Most of us Americans, most of us people that are, whether it be American or whether it be any kind of European country, we don't want that shit, dude. No, we want to have a fucking good life is what it is. Like the problem with Honda's buddy there is the way he's talking about utopia as if almost like it's like Mega City 1 or whatever, we're living in like fucking, cubicles and shit. And it's like, I'm not going to live like that. Fuck that, dude. Like, I want some fucking land, bitch. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I had the money right now, I'd buy this place on myself and live on the 10 acres I grew up on is what it is here. Like, I'm not going to fucking, want to go live in some dirty-ass, dungy-ass city is what it is there. Fuck that shit. Where it's all violent crime and everything else like that. That's the thing, too. This guy invited me to, like, a fucking rave, basically. Of course, I'd come up with $700 to get tickets to the place, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, when I heard that shit, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, you realize how much, and I said, that's why I said on the panel there, I'm like, dude, that's a rent check at this point, because it is. It's like, actually, technically, it would be just under a rent check at that point, because that rent's going to be $800 is what it is now, potentially. So, yeah, you're talking about an entire month's rent, and then, like, throw $100 on top of that, then, will be the actual price of the rent, then. So, yeah, it's almost a month's rent at that point, dude, and it's like, yeah, no. Not to mention, it's like how much, food, how many guns, etc. I could get for that same amount of money and stuff like that. And it's like, that's the way I like to think about things now is what it is, dude. Like, how much shit I could get that's different from that. And it's like, whether it be, several months worth of food, whether it be, another gun, another couple of guns, a bunch more ammo, etc., a bunch of mag and ammo, all that stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. But, I don't know. It just seems crazy to me, though. And then, like, everybody's talking about the whole Hawk Tuah thing, and it's like, I know it seemed like everybody else in the panel, like, loved to get head and stuff like that. I personally don't like BJs. Like, that's just me, dude. I just think it's weird, dude. Like, if I'm gonna do something with somebody, it's gonna be, like, actual sexual stuff. Like, dick into hole, basically, is what it is there. Like, it's not gonna be some chick blowing me, or it's like, maybe I'll eat that chick out or something like that, but, like, yeah, it's mostly just like, sex, like basic sex is what it would be then. So, anyway. And I think a lot of that's me personally is, pretty big fat guy is what it is. Like, just not, it's a whole issue. So, I'll leave it at that, basically. Take that for what you will. I don't give a fuck. I want people to, interpret that for themselves. So anyway, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, and then of course when he tells me it's in Columbus, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not. Like I've said before, dude, it's like I'm not willingly walking into that shithole ever again. Is what it is, unless it's something where I'm going there in the middle of the afternoon or something like that to go testify at the state house or something, dude. Like I'm not gonna go to some fucking like random place, pay a bunch of money for a rave that I'm sure I'm gonna be patted down at. I'm not gonna be able to carry a gun into, obviously, and God forbid, like somebody else is, carrying weapons in there illegally and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, two assholes want to shoot up each other, whatever the case be, and then the whole fucking place, busts out and the whole, running spree, basically. It's like, first off, my knees are shot at this point. I can't really run for shit, man. Like, I'm not going to be the guy that, where it's the headline reads, gang violence leads to 2 dead, 1 from trampling, and I'm the fucking guy that gets trampled to death or something like that. Like, fuck that noise. So, yeah, like it's cool and everything, but again, also the same kind of things on that one. It's like the fact that it'd be a rave, and it's like the fact that the only person I really know at this thing is a guy that I really don't know is what it is. Like, yeah, I'm just, yeah, it's just, that's the thing. If I knew Honda's buddy, like myself, if he was like a friend for like years or something like that, like, 2, 3, 5 years, whatever, then it's a maybe. Or even if it was something like Corey, because I've known Corey a couple of years at this point, honestly, dude. Like, if it was something like me and Corey going someplace or whatever the case be, I'd be like, okay, cool. I know Corey. I know he's going to be there for me if I would need him and stuff like that. But, yeah, this fucking guy that's on his buddy, I have no idea if that guy would be there for me if something happens, Or if I'm going to be fucking straight in a parking lot someplace there in Columbus and have to start calling around and be like, hey, can I spend the night with you for the night? It's me calling my sister up and stuff like that and having to go over her place, and this would be then. And catch a cab or catch an Uber or something like that would be then. So, yeah, fuck that shit. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll hang out with this dude if he wants to come to Canton or whatever the case be for a little bit, but I doubt it. Like, again, I was kind of just placating at that point. And, because he did ask me in the back chat, he's like, yeah, if I'd want to hang out with him or whatever the case be. I'm like, yeah, maybe. So yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna give you that, you know, sort of just an answer because it's like I'm not gonna tell you like, no, I'm not gonna hang out with you, dude. Like I don't fucking know you is what it is. It is a little bit weird too, by the way. It's like, yeah, like I get you're coming into my state and everything, but it's like we really don't know each other, man. Like, why do you want to hang out with like a random stranger? Basically, that's what it is. I mean, I get, technically I'm buddies with your buddy, and it's like that's cool and everything, dude. But again, it's like it's kind of like this, right? Like, say it was myself, Honda, and this dude, and a couple other people at a house party or something, right? Like we were all together, like we get together, whatever the case be. It's like a house party, whatever the case be. And I think it might be somewhat it's my autism that kind of hits me in some places, like the weirdness, awkwardness, and stuff like that's what it is. And so it comes out of being a situation there where it's like, okay, do I really want to go, like say it would be like, again, going back to what I was saying about like, Honda and everybody and myself being at like a house party or whatever the case be. It's like the party's winding down or whatever the case be. We're all just like chilling out, doing something, And then Honda's like, oh, I'm going to go to bed or whatever the case be. And then, walks off or whatever the case be. And it's like me and this other dude and then like a couple other people still. And other people start leaving too and stuff like that. And eventually it's just like me and this guy or me and this guy and like one other person or whatever the case be. It's like, yeah, I'm probably going to dip out by that point, dude. Because I'm going to go do my own thing is what it is then. Even if that means just go to another room or whatever the case be and just fuck around on my phone or something like that then. Because it becomes awkward when you're not, friends with people and you're essentially basic strangers with it is there. And they're asking you to like, hang out and stuff. Like it's kind of, again, I know we talked about serial killers last night on this chat quite a bit, like in our state being, Ohio being the quote unquote birthplace of serial killers, which we're really not. There's a lot of them here, yes, over the decades. There's also a lot in California. There's a lot of guys that were born here in Ohio and then became serial killers after the fact, but also lived in California after that too as well, in their teens, 20s, etc. there. Like the Dahmer, the Gacy, the Bundy types, etc. there. And the thing of it is that when you start looking at a lot of this shit, it's like, I really don't want to become a fucking lampshade in some dude's panel van. Like, that's the truth of the matter, dude. I'm not saying this guy's going to be that thing. It's obviously me making a joke. That's why I'm kind of laughing about it right now. But no, seriously though, like I don't know enough about this guy to not know that he's going to like flip the fuck out of me or something like that over something random I say is what it is then, dude. And again, then I'm fucking SOL because if he was my ride down there and shit, like, yeah, now I gotta call up fucking family or whatever to give me a ride home and shit, like, literally driving 6 hours back and forth then. Or call up my brother and have him, drive me up to the fucking house here 3 hours, and then it's gonna be him staying the night and then leaving the next morning probably, because I'm not gonna make him go, literally fucking 6 hour round trip. That's what it'll be. That'd be dumb. So yeah, just be him staying at the house, he's sleeping in the chair or sleeping, wherever at that point then. Extra mattress or something we got in the house. Here's what it is for a couple hours, and then getting up and maybe I'll make him breakfast or something like that, and he'll go back down if that were the case. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. That's what it is, dude. And I assume at this point, because I think it was supposed to be sometime next month. I don't think I'm gonna have my. Well, first I won't have a vehicle by then, and I also probably won't have my license by then yet, which is going to be a thing I'm going to try to do here pretty soon. But again, it's also requires me to have money first, so that I can then go to a driving place and get driving lessons. So unfortunately, until the money comes in from the house sale, which is not going to be for at least another month or so, probably at least 6-7 weeks anyway. And then even after that, when we sell the place, it's going to be probably more like about 10 weeks, give or take, because it'll be probably October something is what it'll be then. When I actually have the cash in hand, then is what it'll be. So yeah, it wouldn't be till then I'd actually be able to get, the beginning of driving lessons then. So yeah, it's a real pain in the ass is what it is, dude. But anyway. One thing Corey and I were talking about recently, actually, because I know that my student loans have been technically sold off to a secondary company now, because it was originally Great Lakes that had owned them forever, and then it was like, I think 2 years ago now or something, or a year and a half ago, something like that now. They had transferred them to another company called Nelnet, and when I was talking to Corey the other day on the phone, he was mentioning something about how there's a possibility of me being able to just write that shit off somehow now is what it is, since they were transferred to a different company or whatever then. And I'm hoping that's the case. And if I can get a lawyer here in the next couple months, then I'm definitely going to look into that for sure. Because first off, I'm never paying back the government what I would owe them in the, things what it is there. And even if I was to pay them back anything, it would be, it wouldn't even be like probably half of what my initial money that was given to me in student loans was. Because what was given to me in student loans, about half of that was what I actually paid out in college tuition is what it was there, more or less. And it was the other half that was used for like rent and like food and shit. So even then, with the money I get for the house sale and stuff, it would be nowhere near enough to pay off any of that, let alone all the fucking like, almost 20 grand in interest they threw on top of that then, because fuck that shit, dude. So yeah, I think my plan right now is to basically just figure it out here by the end of the year and, look into lawyers and stuff like that, figure out, hey, what's the deal here? Like, can I actually, be out of this now because they did take it to another company or whatever the case be? And if the answer is yes, I would have them just draft the shit for me at that point and be like, cool, here's the money, do that fucking letter, and tell them to fuck off because I'm not paying a dime then. And then potentially at that point I'd be completely debt free. That is what it would be, because that's the only thing right now hanging over my head currently is that giant ass student loan payment. Which it would be one thing too if I had actually gotten a degree with that money and not gotten fucked over by these people. But the fact they fucked me over halfway through my degree is what it was, dude, and cut me off like that because I had failed a fucking class that I was, too stupid to pass is what it was. Because that's when I realized I was not realizing I was autistic back then in those days. And the fact they cut off my funding because of that bullshit, because I was literally going to change degree paths at that point. I was going to go into video editing at that point in time in history from the original path that was supposed to be like IT stuff, a little bit is there. And yeah, if I had done that to begin with, I might have actually had a degree right now and been able to make some money is what it is there. But the problem is I never got a degree there and got cut off halfway through, and they put me in this catch-22 where had I not been living with my brother and sister at the time in a house that we were renting, I would have been completely on the streets at that point. I would have had to break my lease immediately because I couldn't afford to pay rent that month then. And then it would have been me having to literally come home immediately then to this house again back then, like, months before that then, because I would have never been able to have the money to do anything. And so, yeah, the catch-22 is basically, improve your grades, but the only way you can improve your grades is by paying for your own fucking, classes to show us that you can improve your grades, and we're not going to reinstate your fucking tuition money until you can do that. Your student loan money is what it is there. And it's like, so you're basically telling me to go fuck myself, essentially. And that's why, to me, at this point, 13 years later, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you people, too, man. Like, I'm not paying you a fucking dime, assholes. You can eat my ass at this point. Literally. I will literally pull my pants down. You can eat my fucking asshole. That's not descriptive of all it is, man. So, I assume that'll be taken out of context at some point when I run for office in the future. But, although I might just own that shit if that be the case, dude, and be like, yeah, that goes out to my opponents out there. Like, you can do the same thing, motherfuckers. I will pull my pants down, you can eat my asshole. So, anyway. Today's Aftermath is brought to you by Berkshire Beer. One of the only person on the market that has caffeine in it. It basically has the equivalent of, I think it's like a fourth of a cup of coffee here. I believe it says how much it is on the side here. So that did anyway. But that's something about like 22 milligrams over here. Yeah, there we go. 22 milligrams per half ounce, which normal cup of coffee is like 95, I think is what it is or something. So it's like just under a fourth of a cup of coffee with the caffeine in there. It's enough to keep me awake, that's what it is, which is the problem right now. I got to keep awake because a bunch of idiots decided that 3 minutes from now at 2 a.m., we're going to do our fucking Lines We Cross event in the secondary region. Instead of waiting until 9 a.m., which is when we usually do it. But the good thing about that is that they're doing it now because my main region decided, hey, we're going to be fucking retarded too and do it at 9 a.m. then. So, yeah, like everybody's jumping around doing stupid shit what it is there, but it all worked out well. So, hopefully we can win this one, but I don't know. Depends on how many people it's actually on right now is what it is. So, hopefully it'll be quite a few, but who knows? Only time will tell. The thing I do have to do right now is I need to get my stuff set up properly here so that I can be ready to do my attacks and everything. And everybody should hear. And then make sure to throw my attack and defense boosts up as well. So anyway, but yeah, like I said, it's not that I'm against hanging out with Han, his buddy, and everything like that. But again, it's like I don't know you, dude. Like it's just weird. Like yeah, I know you're coming to my state, but it's like it's not like you're going to be anywhere near me. You know, I'm like literally like 3 hours away from the place you're going to go to for your thing. So it's like, why would you want to take a 3 hour trip out of your way to just like be like, hey, how's it going, kind of thing? Like it'd be one thing if the two of us are going to meet up and I was going to take him to like a gun range or something like that, and he was going to buy a gun here in the city of Ohio or something like that. That'd be one thing entirely. But it's like, yeah, you're not doing that, so it's like, why the fuck would we hang out? You know, like again, it would be one thing if it was like, you know, myself, him, Honda, etc., hanging out, doing whatever. Then at some point down the line together, you know. But yeah, when it's not all of us together, it's just you know, be him and I. Then that's just weird, very very weird. So yeah, to me it just comes off very, I don't know, just very awkward. I guess is the best thing to say about it right now, and leave it at that. Basically, yeah, it just seems very like just like what the hell, man, kind of thing. So again, maybe it is just me being, you know, whatever, standoffish and stuff like that. But I'd rather be standoffish than, you know, again, having something work out badly and then it becomes a giant shit show behind me is what it is there. So, because that's always the last thing I want to have happen. And plus, like I said, with my just my luck, it would be something like that where it'd be, you know, like the one time I go down and have fun with somebody or whatever the case be, I get killed or something like that in some random ass, you know, gang violence bullshit or whatever that is there. So I'm not about to go out like that, dude. Again, there's reasons why I avoid crowded places like this, man. And that's exactly why, right there. Is because I don't want to get trampled to death in some fucking random ass area of some random ass city in my state. So, you know, there's no reason to put yourself in harm's way like that when you don't have to. And it's really as simple as that, honestly. So, but anyway, I think I'm going to call it a night on this one. I think I may try to jump back um, on the other side here in a few minutes and show you guys what we're doing for lines and crossers, what it is. So, anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna put that up here. But yeah, like I said, it just feels very like just yeah, just real weird in general. So I may come back on a little bit later on too to do another uh, grandstand or something later on because I do want to talk about some stories of the day after the fact. Here we had that dipshit Maxwell Frost just being a complete fucking retard and showing exactly why he has no business being in Congress ever in this country. Not to mention the fact that kid's literally himself basically a DEI hire because his dumbass went around doing and saying stupid shit all over the campaign trail there. And then on top of all that, then, besides all that dumbass retarded nonsense, couldn't even fucking afford to pay for his campaign. So he literally put his congressional campaign on credit card debt, bro. Like, how the fuck are you still in office after that kind of crap, dude? It just blows my mind with that kind of shit, honestly, dude. Like, how do you think you have any legal right to be in Congress, dude, when you can't even fucking afford to pay for a campaign? Damn, dude. Like, seriously. It's just pathetic, retarded, etc. So, anyway. But yeah, it's just really stupid shit, honestly. And that's the problem with a lot of people right now. Um, huh. Somebody did a bunch of Negan boxes the other day, and nobody mentioned about the shit. I think that'd be something you would have talked about. I don't know. That's weird. Oh shit. So this is apparently where River X and them went is the one we'll go up against right now is what it is. So very interesting. That was the old region chief here. So oh yeah, it's all of our old players. Hmm. Someone's got to drop coordinates because I don't know where the fuck he's even on this damn map right now. Yeah, drop some fucking coordinates there, buddy. I'll jump over where the fuck you're at there, dog. Yeah, and you're not dropping coordinates, guy. What the fuck? You understand that? Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever. What's happening this fucking shit? Now it's in your territory, just come over to it, bitch. So, is this his ass coming towards me now? Probably. Yeah, there's a different guy. Whatever. Yeah, it's just fucking bunch of nonsense. Anyway, what was I saying that I can remember now? Of course, T10 coming back at me now. Oh, okay. Here's this asking to. Well, let's see if I can call that guy real quick. And we will simply wait like a minute and a half for this dude to come out here now. And then I jump over this other guys. So now I'm gonna get smashed up by these T10s, but it doesn't really matter to me. So, yeah, now I think I'm gonna call it a day. Then I'll jump on the Streamlabs here in a minute. I'm gonna set the stream on that one, and then we'll do stuff from there as overview. So. Yeah, that's the whole thing on. So anyway, other than that, peace out, y'all. Stay safe. Have a good one. Later.